Hey gun people, I'm doing a couple videos here. I figured I'd do a crazy cop story. So this is a this is just one of the many times that I was either in some sort of scuffle or whatever, but it just happens. I had gotten out of the military, I had retired, and one of my captains who was still in the military was a reserve deputy for Sac Sheriff. So he was working with Sac Sheriff, and I was booking somebody. I don't know what I booked him for. I mean, drugs, I don't remember. But I know I was booking this guy. And everything was kind of okay, and I went through the booking procedure, and I got him down, did all the paperwork, and I was about to go in and take him in to see the nurse, and he kind of reached for something, and I go, whoa, what are you reaching for? So I grab him, and he gets to pull out a little bag of crank. And I don't know if it was coke or crank, but I'm assuming it was crank. It was white powder. They kind of look the same till you get up, roll up close, and I don't even remember if I got enough to even book him. But all I remember is when he went for it, I went for it, and the fight was on. And I think it was right at the nurse's station because he didn't have his handcuffs on. Normally he'd be handcuffed. So we're fighting in this little Sally Port area. We're rolling, and of course when a fight starts, a lot of cops can't come help you depending on who their in custody is, because there may be 8 or 10 cops there booking other people, and they have somebody there. So if they're booking somebody that's non-violent, they may leave that guy and come help. Or they may grab the cop next to him and say, hey, watch my guy. So one cop will watch 2 guys in handcuffs, and he'll run over and help you fight this dude. And I don't remember why, but I wasn't getting any help that night. And there was probably 9 cops in there, but it was pretty rowdy, and everybody was kind of fighting and pushing on each corner. So there was a lot going on. And so this guy, anyway, so we get in this big old brawl, this dude, and of course my guns are in the car, so it's just hands on, me and him. So he's rolling around the ground, I'm rolling around, and this bag is on the ground and it spills. So I finally get the upper hand on him. I get him in a rear arm bar, I got his arm behind him, I'm on top of him. I'm trying to grab my other set of cuffs, and while he's on the ground, there's shit that had spilled all the powder, and he's licking. And let me tell you something, a jail floor is some nasty ass shit. I mean, you go in there and you're booking people with urine and shit and oozing pus out of their freaking shooting up hair. I mean, you got the nasty, they got those special lights up there that supposedly killed TB or bacteria. They're ultraviolet, and they're, you know, they got hand sanitizer everywhere, but that floor is filthy. Not to mention the places that cop walks in crime scenes with blood, fighting, stabbings. We're walking in these areas. It gets on our shoelaces. It's on our feet. And now we're bringing in custody after custody, and we're getting in and out of our car, and all that bacteria and shit's just being so the jail floor is probably one of the last places I want to be even on, much less licking. So I'm fighting this dude on the ground. I'm telling him to stop resisting. I finally get him in custody. I can't remember if somebody helped me or not, but that captain somehow, after I get him in custody, I get handcuffs and I pull him up. I'm like, you freaking dumbass, now I gotta do more paperwork. I gotta charge you with resisting because I used force on you. Now I gotta take you for a medical clearance because I freaking tweaked your arm pretty good. And now you just ate some freaking drugs, and they're not gonna medically clear you because they're gonna be like, hey, you got taken for a medical clearance. Now he just ingested drugs. We don't want him dying in our jail. Go get him medically cleared. So now I gotta take him. I'm like, God damn you. I said, you freaking asshole. I said, you know how much freaking shit you just caused me over? Man, I'm sorry. I just knew I wouldn't have it in a long time, and I just needed one last little taste. And I'm like, oh my God. So there's powder. There's him licking on it. He's licking all the crank off the floor. And as I get up, I'm finally dusting myself off. My captain, who was in the military, comes over. He goes, Rick Gore, what the hell are you doing? He goes, I thought I recognized you rolling around on that floor. I was like, why the hell didn't you help me? He's like, shit, man, we had this guy. He was kind of being an asshole, too. And I was like, shit. He goes, man, I haven't seen you in years. He goes, and now I run into you at the Sac County Jail fighting some dude licking the ground. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, we meet in strange places. So it was kind of funny. I hadn't seen this guy in a long time. Well, I can't think of his, Tony. Tony's his, I won't say his last name. But Tony's like, dude, I haven't seen you. So we had, you know, old military times. Yeah, remember, we're bullshitting now. I got to go do all this. I was kind of still jacked up a little bit, and I knew I had to take this guy to the hospital. But, I mean, the things that people do for drugs, and I've told this story before, but a lot of people don't believe it. and you know, that people are gonna call me racist now. Black people like to keep their drugs in their ass. Don't ask me why. They think cops aren't gonna find it, but for some reason they shove their drugs in their ass and they leave the paper out, the little plastic baggie out. And if you buy dope, they pull it out of their ass, they open it up, they give you a freaking crack ball, and then they shove it back up their ass so when the cops come. Well, more than once, we're chasing people in the streets of Vallejo, and they're literally pulling the shit out of their ass because their pants are falling down, and they're taking the drugs out, and they're eating the freaking drugs as they're running, because when they eat it, unless we put them on potty watch, and most guys aren't going to do that because there's too much time, all we have to do is take them to clearance and go, hey, we got to go take your medical clearance because they ingested drugs. Now, if it's a hardcore case, and he's wanted for something, you know, and this is really going to help the case or strengthen it, then they'll say, you know what, the jail will agree, you have to get the DA to sign off or whatever, but normally to get somebody on potty watch, they put you in a room, lock the door with a pot, and you can't flush it, and then they wait for you to shit it out, and then they have it, so now we have evidence through the shit that you shitted out that, you know, you ate it and we have the evidence, unless you eat it again, which reminds me of when our history was when we were going through fighting for our independence. Guys would eat their notes, and one guy hit him in the gut. I can't remember the story, but if you look at my first Revolution series, they hit him in the note, he threw it up, and before they could grab it to read it, he grabbed it and re-ate it. And I think they ended up killing him and cutting him and taking it that way. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, those are a couple crazy cop stories about drugs. I mean, you know, you kind of forget some of these things till something sparks your memory and it pops it back up. I don't remember why that came up or what I was watching or saw, or somebody asked me a question, but we're supposed to get like 4 or 5 inches of rain in the next few days. It's kind of humid out there. It's like 96 out here, but I think it's only 60-something degrees, so it's not too bad. All right, so we'll end out there on a crazy cop story. Buddy! What are you boys doing? You guys want a treat? They gotta go get you a carrot. All right.